Hello, everybody, and welcome to the newest indoor adventure in City of Mist, Monster Noire, Part 5. Today is September 16th, 2021, and you are loved. That is a very important thing that we like to remind each and every single one of our viewers and listeners at the beginning of each and every single one of these games. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all of the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, or you can go towards where anywhere audio casts are made available for free. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, if you go to patreon.com/indooradventures, you can check up on our after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us on our Discord. The link can be found in the Twitch chat to the side or in the description of this video or audio cast down below. But let's say off the wall, random place. I know, thank you, Satan, that the videos are not, that they're not in the right place. I will fix that momentarily. But let's say that you already support us on Twitch and YouTube and Twitter and all of those places, and you're trying to think to yourself, where can I go to possibly help support this wonderful show that you currently cannot see on the Twitch feed? Guess what, buddy? I got your back. If you go to indooradventure.redbubble.com, we got t-shirts, we got posters, we got mugs, we got crop tops, throw pillows, shower curtains, aprons, clocks, and more importantly, we got face masks. That's right. I'm showing it to the camera right now, clearly. We have face masks with the symbol of Tiamat upon them, designed by our very own Cyberwolf1201, where all of the proceeds from those face masks end up going to help support Doctors Without Borders. So if you would like to help support a good cause or possibly help support the show, you can again go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. That is indooradventure, no S at the end, .redbubble.com. But that is it for me. So, hey, Satan, who you playing today?
Hi everyone, my name's Satan. Tonight I will be playing Lilith, our vampire queen, who you can see in one of those squares. She goes by she, her pronouns, and I go by they, she, they. I got so confused.
I did it. I fixed the issue, hopefully. Nope, it's still bad. All right, Danae, who are you playing?
Hi, everybody. I'm Wings, also known as Danae Keener. I use she, her pronouns. I'm going to be playing as Dot, a werewolf. She's aware that she's a wolf. And she also goes by she, her.
And Jen, who are you playing?
Hi, I'm Jen. I go by she, her. I'll be playing Beltane Hawthorne, the mobster Fae, and he goes by he, him.
And I am the indoor adventurer, he, him, and tonight I shall be playing as Ezekiel Sullivan, a Lone Star. You're still muted.
I'm still muted. Damn it. Oh, the professionalism. Okay. We're rusty. We had a couple weeks off. We're rusty. It's all good. Yeah. So I'm great.
This game, it was a once monthly game. We're keeping with tradition.
Exactly. We've only got 5 more sessions, so sometime after Christmas we'll. All right. I'm Greybeard Severn, and tonight we'll be playing Monster Noire, if I could stop giggling, which is, we're using the City of Mist system. If you're not familiar with it, it's powered by the apocalypse with some interesting twists and turns to it. It's one of the latest of the City of Mists, or apocalypse hack / offshoots, as it were. And it takes place in the 1940s. And our monsters are players, kind of. Anyway, last time on Monster Noire, we ended with Biggie Bad Wolf, or I'm gonna screw it up. Don Biggie Bad Wolf, the werewolf Don of Rovecloft, the port city that this all takes place in. He was dropping off some illegal hooch to the VA hospital. That's right, the vet hospital. And he sniffed the air like, that seems familiar. And that's kind of where we left off. anything in the last time that we really need to touch on? I'm trying to think of anything that hasn't been like 2 episodes ago. I think that's the big one.
Yeah, I think so.
For last time. All right. Well, then, where was everyone last time?
We were at Lilith's house because Dot and Beltane were going through the monster book talking about, like, is that true? Is that not? Whereas Zeek and Lilith were having a conversation about, like, all right, what do we do about this town? And we were sharing notes.
Yeah. Oh, some beautiful character interactions. That's right. Okay. Let's pick up from. Well, how about, because those interactions were so good and everything, why don't we pick up from the next day? And is everybody staying at the Lilith Hidden Vampire Queen Castle, or Dot, did you go back home?
I don't see any reason to leave.
Okay. Beltane, back to the shop, or stay to annoy Lilith? I mean, stay at Lilith's.
He'll send note to his daughter, letting her know that she's in charge of the shop and where to find who if she needs it and stuff like that. But he'll stay at the manor.
All right. Okay. Then let's start with would you reconvene the next morning or the next evening?
Zeke's a people, so he would just wake up in the morning. Like, he has no qualms about being up during the day.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, so he's probably just making coffee.
Yeah.
And, like, the servants are trying to help him, but he's like, no, you don't make it strong enough. And, like, it's not that they don't make it strong enough. He just makes it really poorly.
Doesn't use a coffee filter. It just goes directly in the pot.
Mm-hmm.
It's French press style.
It's Turkish coffee, but with no filter whatsoever.
None. Yeah.
Sludge, bloop, 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 comes out like mud. Okay.
Gross.
Maxwell House, and
I think Beltane's awake at this point, and he's just watching Zeke and these servants not helping either, just enjoying his own little chaos.
And it's funny because the thing is like they're like vampire spawn. And so they just like, they don't want to be up at this hour and everything.
This is the end of their shift. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like right as the sun is like coming up.
Exactly. They're like, keep looking, like we need to be underground suit. No. All right. Beltane, you're watching Zeek.
Mm-hmm.
Dot, does Dot sleep in?
Dot sleeps in so late.
Okay. All right. So
That werewolf metabolism's kicking in real hard.
okay. All right. We're in the kitchen. We're watching the percolator. Bloop. Bloop.
Yeah, Zeke's probably not even paying attention to it. Like, he's not watching the coffee. Like,
Yeah.
it'll scream at him when it's ready. Like, he knows boiling temperatures. So I feel like, if Beltane is up in the morning as well, Zeek will be doing his best to just like toast, bacon, eggs, like make like very basic, like not from round here breakfast. And with Beltane, like when the coffee's ready, he'll ask if do you want sugar in there?
All right. First off, Lilith, when Zeek opens the fridge, what's in the fridge here in the vampire castle?
There's food.
Okay.
Because not her entire staff is not all spawns. And knowing that she would have, I guess she would have stocked more.
Okay.
So there's just a very, very well stocked fridge, and there's another little fridge that had like wine bottles.
Okay, I was going to ask, is this the same community fridge? Is there anything weird for like the trolls or goblins or anything, or is that kept somewhere else?
There would be. It's just packaged all neatly.
Okay.
But there's some more strange labeled things that are, for trolls, for,
It just
pixies.
says haunch in very
Yeah.
large
Yeah.
letters.
Once a paper bag that says "dead bird, do not open."
Yeah, and then
I
there's
don't know what I was expecting.
there's like a small Tupperware kind of dish, but like a 1940s Tupperware
Mhm.
kind of thing, and it just says it says Bob's worms don't eat, and it's just sitting there on the shelf,
Yeah.
and you open it and it's just like night crawlers,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The monster
the-
community fridge is not something I knew that I needed in this game.
The rule is, as long as you keep your food well packaged so it doesn't contaminate anything else, you
Right.
can keep your stuff together. It's fine.
all right.
Well, here's my question. I had a question. It left me. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Immediately.
Here's my question. Gone.
The moment it took for me to ask the question, it just
Well,
I'll come back to you.
if that
It'll
train
come back
comes
to
back,
you.
we'll
I'll
definitely
remember.
need it.
Yeah.
I'll read in like 10 minutes.
Also, anybody out there, type in night crawlers into the questions for the
Doing it
court. All right. So you find some weird stuff in there and stuff, but you also find, farm fresh eggs, fresh milk, the toast, it's bakery bread, it's
It's like that thick bacon.
Mhm.
Yeah. Haunch bacon.
Yeah.
Mhm.
One
The
slice.
troll's gonna come in later and be like, "Damn it! I was saving my heart."
It's that like Ghibli style bacon where they're like huge
Oh, yeah.
slices.
Mhm. Yeah. All right. So there's frying bacon, and the coffee is done.
Yeah.
And what
It was
do
probably
you
done like 5 minutes ago, but it just kept cooking.
you turn to Beltane?
Yeah, just you want any sugar in this?
Yeah, lots of. He pulls out the entire sugar barrel. I'll just put my own in it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with yours. Here you go. Just sets it in front, tosses you a plate. So I noticed between you and Lilith, there's something going on.
Hmm.
She was saying that she knew you, but then you were saying that it wasn't the you that she knew, and that honestly was a little downright confusing. I was wondering, is there like one of you like hit your head, fall off a cliff, and like, oh, I can't remember kind of situation? Or is this one of those like you have made very well and clear that you're a slightly different caliber than creatures such as myself and creatures such as Lilith, and it's one of those middling situations?
No. Sometimes when Fae or people like me die, we don't really die. We just reconvene at a checkpoint, I guess. And Lilith and a few of her friends went back to a certain checkpoint and altered a few things, and here I am.
What do you mean she went back and changed some things and now you're here? Like she what? Went into the past?
Yes, see, Fae have the Donashi, which is a space between time and reality, and allows us to go forward and back in time, which is why you have people who end up in our realm shunted forward about 100 years, because we don't fucking care if you live or die, honestly. We should fix that. Anyways.
I imagine
It's
that,
some...
like, as you're explaining it, you can see that like Zeke's eyes are like glassing over a little bit. And if like cameras from his perspective, the audio would just be getting like more and more muted as Beltane's talking of him just like, I don't know what I expected. I don't know why I asked this question.
I think he catches on about halfway through, and that's why I stick people through the heart, so I can eat them and could... Okay, you're back. Welcome back.
Crazy. Well, sorry. Still early, still working through the first cup for today anyways. No,
yes, I'll eat your kidneys for dinner tonight.
Well,
That's okay.
I mean, you can try.
No, it's in our agreement.
God damn it, Dot.
He just laughs. It's not in our agreement, but it's fun. It's fun.
What, eating people's kidneys or like playing jokes? I get the playing jokes part, but like if you find eating live people kidneys, like are you
You
like
know
one of those
how-
birds from a Greek myth or something?
I've met them. They're very beautiful birds. And do you know how much iron kidneys have? They're just
You sound like you are full of shit half the time.
That's what they do. He kind of just twirls around and takes his coffee. Your coffee's horrible. I'm drinking tea.
I'd like to think at this point Lilith walks in. It's like that's because he is full of bullshit.
Only on Sundays, dear.
No, every other day. She's in like a robe, morning robe, and she has the paper under her arm. She's just sitting down and reading the paper.
All right, I'm glad Lilith walked in because I was about to have a goblin intersect in that to give a segue, but perfect. So Lilith sits down. Dot still like, do we like flash upstairs and you're like, you know, with your tongue lolling out and you know,
Yeah, I want to say so, but like we see her like nose twitch as she like smells breakfast and coffee. And she like wakes up and like she starts to like she wakes up and like looks around and like sees the sun starting to come in through the blinds, and she just like rolls over and like puts her pillow over her head, and then we hear like an audible like gurgle of her stomach, and then she just like sighs. And then we cut back.
The beast within awakens. All right. Okay. Lilith, are you reading the paper and just like not now, not till I'm functional, or what's her?
No, I have like this idea in my head that vampires are never actually physically tired.
Okay.
So they just wake up and they just are.
Right.
So she has just a normal attitude. She's reading the
Pulled out of my
paper.
coffin this way.
Yeah, she's reading the paper, has like a cup of coffee, but it's not coffee. She's in her morning robes, no makeup, just it's like I kind of woke up like this hair.
Right. But of course it's like woke up this kind of hair in like those 40s movies. So
oh yeah, like I woke up like this, my hair like clearly done by a stylist.
and as always, mega red lips, the blood red lips already, because you said no makeup, but she's always had that.
No makeup, but her natural lips are always look bloodstained.
There it is. Okay. All right. Okay, so we get the glamour shot. Like I said, everything else is because it's noir. It's kind of muted, but the red lips pop. And anybody say anything? Or you just now are we getting this scene of the three of you like doing a morning breakfast thing? You know, this archfey, this star-touched gunslinger, and this vampire queen having breakfast.
I think Beltane will give Lilith her morning meal in a nice little teacup and percolate a teapot beside her and sit down and look at his breakfast and flip over the toast and say, how did you manage to only burn one side of the toast?
I don't know what you mean. I put the bread in the toasting contraption, and when it smelled done, I pulled it out. Now, it's not really burned. It's actually delicious. You just got to take a knife and like scrape off some of the black parts.
He laid it like a grill on top of the toaster, and because it's a 1940s metal toaster, it just like okay, all right, perfect.
I was gonna say, like, I don't even know if like Lilith would have an electric toaster. Like he's used to having the like basically just like the metal bit that you put inside of a fire and like it holds your bread and then you pull it back out when it's done.
I love those. Those are my favorites.
Yeah, she would have a toaster.
Yeah, I like to think it's like a 4-slice like 1940s toaster that's like metal on the outside,
Oh my
so
God, that has
it
like
gets
heating
to
coils on the inside.
uh-huh.
Yeah.
It gets to be like 1,000 degrees and your house can burn down.
Okay, that's a night in the courtyard for me.
All right, cool. And what's the day hold? I mean, what's the plan here?
All right, so from what I can tell, there is Stinky Bastard Man, right? Who's in
Yes.
charge of like making all these shades and causing just problems in the town. He's my guess. There's something behind that going on in the hospital. We already went to the hospital, Dot and I, and well, Dot was saying that it is probably somebody who works there that's causing the issues. Talking to the zombies in town, talking to the undead, they all seem to be like, "Oh, I passed out." Wink, and then next thing I know, I'm getting brought back to life by XO doctor in the hospital. So my guess or my thought on the matter is that if we can get to the hospital and search around again, I'll probably try and make myself a little scarce on that one because I was using some firearms, acquired a vehicle that may or may not have been mine at the time, which I believe Beltane is in the process of repurposing. But if we can just like get a general look around. So, Miss Lilith, do you have
Right.
contacts at the hospital? You seem to know like everybody in town, or at least have
I do.
a general warehouse of like, oh, I bought this here hospital not too long ago, and now everybody owes me favors.
What was that?
That was Lilith.
Oh,
Oh.
The
That's-
thumping sound as the refrigerator shuts, and Dot is there in all of her morning glory, which is to say, just like really messy looking curlers.
Mhm. Right. Well, I don't own the hospital, but I do have people in there that I do know that do owe me favors.
See, I knew it.
I don't know what you
Mm.
expect from me.
Well, you own a castle in the middle of the woods that is magically protected. Everywhere I go in town, Mr. Beltane points out and is like, "Oh yeah, like that dude owes us like $20. That guy over there is undead, and we helped him out at a certain point." I've seen a shit ton of people walking around your building because you own this place. Again, a castle that's magically
Do you?
protected in the middle of the woods.
Yes.
So literally anything in town, I just assume you got your hand in.
Darling, first of all, first lesson, whenever Belton says that person owes me or owes us $20, he's lying.
I can't lie. Can sort of lie, but not well. I have to
That
confess.
person probably owes him $20, not me.
That's still a lot of money.
The hissing sound of an
Yeah.
aerosol can letting loose some whipped cream on top of a monstrosity of like a pancake with like scrambled eggs and bacon and sausage and hash browns. It's just
I want her to make breakfast from now on. You are banned from it,
Right.
Zeke.
Oh,
Is it
this breakfast is hearty. It'll get you where you need to go.
Dot? Is it like pancake, bacon, pancake, hash browns, pancake stuff,
it's just
or just
one. It's
black?
just one pancake.
Ah,
Because then she like masterfully like manages to wrap it up into like a pseudo burrito.
The pancake is the plate and the burrito.
Then she just hunches over it and starts like munching.
Yeah.
all right.
And yes, I own this castle. That happens when you're alive for almost what is it now? Over 130 years. You amass money and you can, well, own fancy things like castles that are magically protected. Because I now am the single vampire council.
again, you say things like that, and then you expect me to not expect that you just own the hospital in town. Like, if I was a vampire and I needed limitless supplies of blood, I would go to the place where people are bleeding all the time, and you could just have your pick.
A blood bank?
What's that? Is that part of the hospital?
No, it's
So-
something people donate blood to. They used it a lot in the Second World War.
The blood bank, I do own the blood bank.
Which happens to be in the hospital. So
It's under
Where-
my name. No, I'm kidding.
there it is. Oh, that's funny.
It's like, cut to later when they're in the hospital. Oh, you meant this hospital.
Yeah.
There's like a plaque that's like, thank you, Miss Lilith, for your generous donation.
Yeah, exactly.
This is
Um,
the Beltane S. Hawthorne wing.
mhm. All right.
Named it
So
after me.
Speaking for the first
oh.
time this morning,
Mm.
Dot like gulps down that enormous bite of pancake monstrosity, and she says, "I don't think we should go back to the hospital
Why?
because there's just too many people there. There's patients and doctors and orderlies and people that are going to recognize me and Zeek. I've got Radsman's scent. I say we find out where he lives."
I think that's a good idea. Since it doesn't seem to be the hospital itself, but this person.
Sounds fine by me.
Chomp.
Like, Zeke is looking at that and just like, oh my god. Like, part of him is curious, like a little bit. But then it's just like, no, mixing sweet and savory on all of that. No.
Nom, nom, nom.
Beltane steals a whipped cream covered bacon and just eats that.
Just falls out.
You know,
All
there
right.
are times where I miss human food, and there are times where I do not miss human food.
That is the most inhuman creation I've ever seen.
People used to leave offerings like this to me all the time. I miss it.
You know what? When you guys turn into an enormous canine creature and back again and get shot several times within the span of a few days, you can talk to me about whether or not like my eating habits are abnormal.
Oh, there definitely are, but you know, there's
How
not.
many times did you
I'm not
shoot
here to
them?
judge, Darlie. I don't eat. I
Like-
drink blood.
Like,
I was gonna say as she sets the teacup down of blood.
like yesterday or just in general?
Like,
Talking to Dot.
No, I was talking to Beltane, who asked how many times
Oh.
did you shoot her?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Generally.
Well, I shot her
Far as
twice
I've-
when we first met, and she turned into a big old wolf, and then I shot her again.
Every time I've been shot, it's the same guy. Honestly, like there's kind of a running theme here.
Definitely shot
Yeah.
her in the hospital. That one was an accident, though. She got in the way of my bullet.
Mr. Sullivan, may I suggest that you do not shoot your partner?
Well, it hasn't gone more times than I got fingers on this hand, so I think we're in the clear.
Sure.
Make nice with the other one, and maybe you'll get to keep those fingers.
Doing my best.
Eat the thumb.
You know, Miss Dot, I do have someone that could teach you more about this if you should like.
Who exactly are you thinking of? It's not that mob guy, is it?
Yes.
I'm supposed to stay away from the mob.
Darling, we've been through this. I am the mob.
Doesn't know what to say to that.
You're a little bit too far in to go back now. You've been hanging with the mob.
Remember, make your own story.
You do not have to do this. You can figure things out on your own. I just offer help and you're free to leave it or take it. No
Like she-
offense, we'll take it.
I think she kind of looks down at her hand, which is bandaged up. And there's a slight indentation where she put a silver bullet the previous day. And she just kind of like clenches that fist and doesn't elaborate further.
All right.
Lilith, in your daily paperwork, as we cut to a little later on, unless there's more of that scene we need. Okay. Yeah, there's, Marshall, hospital, stolen car, the police reports that you get copies of, you are now looking over and seeing the chaos they had wrought.
Tut, tut.
Yeah. Yeah, where do we go from here, people? What do you do?
We have to sniff out this doctor.
All right, like, do we know which, like, do we know what shift he has? Like, is it like a morning shift? Is it a night shift? We saw him there at the evening, but he could have been like Greybeard or something.
Maybe. It would be beneficial that maybe Beltane and I go to the hospital. You could sense magic, right? Or did that change?
He just kind of looks to you. I'm practically magic, so that's not changed.
Yes, but can you sense it?
There are 3 roses out in your garden that are not roses, so yes, I can sense it.
All right. Then we could stop by the hospital, you and I, Beltane, sense out the magic, see if there's anything else going on or if he's there. While you two try to maybe sniff around town and see where he's been. Maybe find his house.
I'm pretty good at canvassing at this point.
Doctors are pretty rich, right? Like, he's got to have a car or something. We go to the parking lot and see which car is his.
Maybe he has something in his car that could help us.
All right.
No.
Go.
I was just gonna be like, so all to the hospital, some in the parking lot, some in the, just kind of reiterate.
Yep.
I'm just used to doing that.
So are you going at day or night, or what's the time frame here?
Our best chance to get him is, I would say, maybe we catch him if we go early, like midday times. Somebody in chat, my old friend Kirkland 03 has let me know that I was a bit quiet, so thank you, Kirkland. I've changed that. So if we go in like midday towards the end of the day, then we're either going to catch him coming to work or just about to leave. If it's about to leave, we just catch him right going to his house. If it's a little bit early, a little bit beforehand, or otherwise, and he's just getting on, Lilith, if you own Blood Bank, what have you, which is in the hospital, not that you own the hospital, but apparently you got like shares there or something, perhaps you could have your people talk around, ask questions about if you could possibly get his information, because you might be considering bringing him on to the blood bank staff. That way it seems more like a business proposal and nobody's going to ask too many questions about that.
Okay. Can I roll for that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's a question for the other guy.
Did I give the doctor a name?
It was something Radsman. Dr. Radsman, that's what I've got written down.
All right.
Radsman.
Because I do have company resources and outsmart competition.
Sure. That investigate. So roll plus powers you believe are applicable, and minus any weaknesses that you may find you have.
So if we're doing this still during the daylight, she does have sun sensitivity. She's not gonna burn, but she's sensitive to it.
Right.
So I do have company resources and outsmarting competition, so that's +2, and then -1 for sun sensitivity. So +1.
All right.
Okay, that's cocked. Okay. Seven.
All right.
Math is hard.
Yes, it is. When you use your abilities, seek answers, burning questions, roll plus power. On a hit, you get clues equal power. Spend your clues 1-to-1 to ask questions of the subject your investigation. Ask another relevant question about their character. On a 7 to 9, they can also choose one. Okay, so you get one clue, which you can ask anything, and then you get to choose one, which I will post, unless you have it right there.
I have it. I have it open.
Okay. Yep. And then you can choose one.
So I will like to get like their schedule.
Okay.
And like just generally ask around, but they can, I would say, if they have one question, it can be like that someone would answer who is asking about them, so maybe he knows that it's her.
So you actually are like putting your name out there, so if he asks, he'll be like, oh, Lady Lilith, blah blah. Okay, that's cool. I like that.
They would just know her as some rich lady, basically.
Yep. Okay. Does Lilith's company have a name?
I feel like it should.
You can come back to it. It's no biggie.
I'll come back to it, but yeah. So they would maybe get the name of the company, and they would know that she owns the company.
All righty. And you find out that are you actually making the call, or would it be like one of your people making the call?
Oh, one of my people.
All right. So we jump to that phone call where there's this very, very goth, very obvious 40s vampire, maybe fangs and pointy ears and whatnot on the phone. Yeah, yes.
It's the Morticia Addams in the Addams Family with Tim Burton, where it always has the line of light over her eyes, regardless of the setting.
Yep. And they're on the phone, and like I said, Dark Shadows style, where the beam of light is only showing their eyes, and they're like, hello, Roughcroft Hospital, blah 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 blah, and the person's like, yes, I need to know the schedule of Dr. Radsman. And the person on the other end, very Harker if she hadn't had a horrible life, basically. Yeah, right. So it's like Harker who had a good life kind of thing, and she's like,
it's the exact same design, only she's wearing like cat's eye glasses.
Yes, exactly, and like maple colors, like bright colors and stuff,
patterned floral dress.
Yep, exactly. And she's like, oh, Ratsman, oh my, he's such an it's a very weird guy, very, very strange. And we flash back to goth vampire on the other end of the phone, this juxtaposition of 40s bubblegum pop secretary versus vampire. Yes, what is so strange about him? And they're like, he only works at night. He's a doctor. Why would a doctor only work at night? He's like, is he on tonight? Let me see. Hold on. And she's flipping through a clipboard.
Oh yeah, vampire about to get whooped.
He's, sorry.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I thought I was muted.
Yeah. Oh,
It took me a second to
You
realize.
threw me off. Anyway, she's like, "Well, yeah. He's definitely on tonight. Can I ask who's calling?" "Thank you." Click, and it's just cuts off, and she's like, and of course, we have that dystopian feel from, like our modern perspective. You would just give someone's schedule to anyone who go, it's just the the horror music plays, like the piano, and yes, you receive his schedule.
She goes back to chewing her gum and doing her
Mhm.
nails.
Yep. In
She will-
Harker guys.
If she gets this information, she will let everyone know before they leave.
Okay. All right. And Lilith is not going.
No, she is going
Oh,
to
okay.
the hospital.
Okay. Alright.
She has, with the information that he only works night and knowing that there's some vampiric entity, she's like, I don't care how much older you are than me, you're in my fucking territory, okay?
All right. So she's kind of fronting at the same time, is
Yeah.
what you're telling me, getting out there because of that other necrotic whatever was spying on you
Yeah.
earlier. Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, as you guys get there, I assume Beltane's driving,
Mhm.
and you're all in the same car.
Yeah.
What's the seating?
I mean, Zeke will sit in the back, probably. He doesn't want to be up near the windshield, like being in a car. He also wants to lay low a little bit, because there's a cop in town that's got it out for him.
Did you change your look?
No. Bandana up. Like, boom, perfect disguise.
But what if I do this?
Yeah, no, that's Zeke.
Like, traditionally, like, I don't know, the parents sit in the front seat, but like Lilith is a lady, and the
Yeah, no,
lady,
she's sitting in the back.
She sits in the back, so it's Zeke and Lilith in the back, and Dot and Beltane up in front, and Beltane's driving.
Mhm.
All right. All right. I was gonna do the.
And
Clark-
then Dot's
Clark-
just in the trunk.
You just got dark glasses on.
It's Lilith with her driver and 2 bodyguards, basically.
Perfect.
And Zeke's just like checking how many bullets he has in his gun, like that sort of thing.
Lilith's just going over a report with her legs crossed next to him.
Dot's got the window or the mirror down, and she's like checking her makeup.
All
Were
right.
the Beach Boys a thing in the 50s?
No.
No.
Yeah, in the 40s now, not until the
40s.
60s.
Yeah, 50s
Yeah.
or
60s.
60s. Speaking of which, I remembered the thing that I was going to ask.
Yeah.
Is it late enough for gelatin to be popular?
God,
it's like,
I
no,
hope
gelatin was
Sure.
the 50s. But like nebulous, like red coagulated
Gelatin salad?
gelatin
God,
salad in the
God.
fridge.
I have some
Yeah.
Great Depression era foods to talk about, but that's a night in
Put
the
that in
courtyard
the-
thing.
put that at night in the courtyard.
All right. Okay. So, yeah. So we get to the hospital. They, Dot and Zeke get out and are kind of wandering the parking lot. And the two of you head in. Let's go with Lilith and Beltane.
Mhm.
Beltane opens her door. Yeah, both of them.
Mhm.
Okay. And
She gets out, and it's like this very nice, very form-fitting dress. A nice jacket overcoat that she just has over her shoulders.
yeah.
Even though it's turning nighttime, she still has sunglasses, and she like takes them off as she gets out of the car. And there's this nice wide brim hat, and she like looks at the hospital.
All right.
She looks at the hospital like Rose looks at the Titanic.
Yeah.
And yeah, as you enter, there's a young orderly who opens the door for you, and kind of like
Thank
Well,
you.
allows you in.
Were
And
candy stripers a thing in the 40s?
We're gonna pretend they are.
Yeah, they are now.
This is, if they weren't, this is like what sets the trend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Volunteers, young volunteers. Okay. Yeah, so you guys enter the hospital, and I mean, you obviously are dashing movie star looking individuals, so people are, you know, looking at you. What do you do?
I like to think that it's like a shot of Lilith's heels walking across the linoleum floor. And then like the shot widens and it's her and Beltane's feet walking together, and then it kind of expands out and she's just walking through the hospital and people are definitely watching them, but she just goes to the front desk. And as she puts her sunglasses away, she says, "I'm here to talk with Dr. Radsmond."
Oh, okay. Yeah. And they pick up a clipboard, like I said, and they flip through it, and they're like, "Yeah, he's on shift. Should I, if he's not in surgery or whatever, should I call him to the desk, or do you want to wait?" Oh, okay. All right. And then they hit a thing. "Paging Dr. Radson. Dr. Radson to the front desk. Dr. Radson to the front desk." Unless, like I said, he's in surgery, it shouldn't be long.
Thank you. You're a doll.
Thank you. And you know, as we kind of whoosh away from you guys at the desk, we cut to, and it's almost like a Kevin Smith parking lot scene, you know, where we're just kind of scrolling backwards, and Dot and Zeek are walking along together. Dot, you're sniffing cars?
Yep. Dot's just got like a newspaper under her arm, so that she has like an excuse to like pop something out and like act casual. But she's just kind of like holding it under her arm, and she's like walking around going sniff, 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 sniff.
Okay. Let's do an investigate. Roll plus power minus any weakness.
All right. Well, I rolled an 8 here. Let's see what I got. Wolf's instincts. Thrill of the hunt. I think that's a +2 ain't bad.
Yep.
So that'd be a 10.
All right. Okay. And there doesn't appear to be anything special about a 10 on here. You get clues plus power. Oh, so you're gonna get 2 clues. Okay. Yeah, you're like going along, and then it just is that one. You're like dead sure. I mean, this guy you tried to chomp earlier. As a matter of fact, I think you got a piece of his lab coat at one point. So yes, this is definitely his car.
All right. What kind of car does he have?
It is a black, like Studebaker kind of vehicle. It's a nice car. Again, it's the 40s, so it's huge. Big, rounded. Yeah, it's an expensive car, but it's not like a fancy car.
All right. I'm just gonna peer into it.
Okay.
Like, cover.
Yep.
So that.
There doesn't appear to be anything in the car. But it definitely the trunk smells of death.
Good. Yeah, I think that she like peers into the back seat and the front seat, and then there's like a sniff, and she like heads over to the boot, and like tentative sniff, and then like just covers her mouth and nose, just like claps her hand over it, and just points like
Zeke will come over and like he's just gonna like try the trunk, like see if it opens or not. Like he's not.
Okay. Yeah. Chicka. No.
Nope. Okay. part of him is just like, well, I could shoot the lock off. And then like there's like a pause and he's like, no, that got me in trouble yesterday. I'm trying to do better about not using my gun. Who knows? If I fired it, it could ricochet off this trunk and hit Dot, and then somehow that would be my problem again. He is, I think, would it be possible to, because he has like a little bit of super speed, and I don't think locks were like particularly great at this time, but just to basically like vibrate his hand at like a quick pace to try and like jiggle it loose.
Sure. Go for it.
Yeah. As Sauce said in chat, smash cut to Zeek using his gun as a can opener. Accidentally discharges. All right.
Dot's in a completely different room, just like, ah!
Damn it!
So yeah, using my super speed on this, that is a 12.
All right. Yeah, I don't even. There had to be some kind of penalty on that, but you would have gotten over 10 anyway. So yeah, you somehow, the Detroit steel just magnetizes or something.
It's always snowy out here.
Yeah,
like
so much
rust.
So much static or something that the lock pops. And you open it up.
Don't just like throw open the trunk either, because obviously if Dot's like, stinky dead smell in here, he doesn't want to be like, alley-oop, let's like, survey says, show me the body. So yeah, he kind of like after the lock's done, he just slowly opens it, kind of takes a look inside and hopes that nothing jumps out at him.
All right. You raise it up and you see its parts. It's just like people parts, and none of them are brand new. They're like older parts.
Yucky. I think he like closes the trunk real quick.
Okay.
And just looks towards Dot and just, I was going to say that maybe one of us should like hide in the trunk, and when he goes home, we pop out and like Shazam, but I don't want to get in there.
Yeah.
And Dot, were you looking, or did you back away?
I think she backed away, but
Okay.
like, part of her instincts just like, I don't know, you know how like a dog like finds something smelly and they want to get all up in it?
Mhm.
Like she's kind of drawn a little bit closer, and I think just out of curiosity, she's trying to tell if all of the parts came from the same body or if they're all different.
All right. You backed away. He closed it. I'm gonna put a roll to it. So again, you're gonna be +2, and just go for it.
Yeah. Oh, not bad. These guys just going to keep on rolling 4s. That's a 10.
Oh, awesome. So tattoos after the war, a lot of people came back with tattoos, but you did notice that like 2 or 3 of these parts had tattoos on them.
Like tattoos as in like from the same person, or tattoos as in like
You
Is this like a trunk full of right arms? Like
Yeah.
you didn't get a good enough look. Like I said, your eye for detail caught. You're like, there's multiple tattoos.
All right. She like he shuts the trunk and just about shuts it on her nose, and she just kind of like backs up a little bit.
ain't right in there.
No, that is not. Let's wait for Lilith and Beltane.
Look, I'm not accustomed to a lot of big city hospitals, but they don't just like let you take souvenirs home.
No, I'm pretty sure that's illegal. Yeah, I don't think that happens.
All right, just checking.
Yeah, no, like here in the city, like bodies in trunks is like usually a really bad sign.
I figured that was the case. I'm still getting used to the whole, cars situation, but like as a whole, yeah, that's a little fucked.
She
However,
like takes out a handkerchief and just kind of holds it over her face, and she like looks at it like,
Is there, like, what do these things run on?
Gas?
All right, so with that in mind, if we're like wanting to stake out and like get this guy alone, what if we like put a small hole in the gas canister so that way, like, as he's driving,
you want to siphon his gas?
Is that what that is?
Well, wait, no, hold on. You want to
I'm saying like
leave a
make a hole in the gas canister, or something to like make it leak so that way as he's going home after a shift, like his car suddenly stops on the side of the road, and then we pop out of the woods and we're like, what the fuck are all these body parts in here doing? Or, I mean, we could just, if we know what he smells like and we got the car and we're still wanting to get him alone, we could just like go to his house, break in first, and then when he comes in, we like slow turn in a chair and we're like, greetings, doctor. I expected you to come to this place after all. And he'd be like, yes, it's my house, but
you've been reading too many pulps.
Yeah, reading
First of all, we got to know where he lives. Let's just wait and see what Lilith and Beltane come back with.
All right, but in the meantime, what is siphoning gas?
Oh, well, first of all, you need to have like a container, and then you need to have like a rubber hose or something. You stick it down in the tank, and she like starts describing exactly how to siphon gas in detail because for some reason she knows this.
And as you guys are like, you're like pointing at the gas tank and stuff, explaining it, this truck comes up and the brakes squeak, and the person in the truck like is leaning across the seat. You can't see him in the dark, but they're
so that's when you got to put your mouth on the hose and then suck.
Like if you swallow any of that gas, like it'll just make you run faster, right? Like they wouldn't use something to like start a car that you couldn't like start a person with.
Would not recommend it.
All right.
No, not at all. But you do got to get that liquid down in there first so that it seals, and then she like stops, and there's like there's her like if she had the ears, like they would like prick backwards.
right.
But so like she just like sniffs a little bit, and she like turns around, looks directly at that guy,
and you realize it's the doctor from the VA hospital that took the bullet out of you, and he's just sitting there like, you guys out of gas?
No, well, our friend they ran inside, and we're making sure that nobody absconds with this vehicle.
Oh, well, it's really amazing that I saw you guys, because later on, after what happened.
Yeah.
A customer of a patron of the VA hospital came by, and they asked a lot of questions about you guys.
Like who?
Well, I mean,
What'd you tell them?
I just told them that there was a marshal and a young lady who came here, and she needed, okay, I told them particularly that the of your condition, pointing at Dot.
Dr.
And,
Patient confidentiality, my ass.
And he's
Which-
like,
Which condition? You know, like, or
well, the silver bullet part, and how particularly that would be a thing because they are like that also with the, and he mimics what you did. And,
who was this guy exactly?
well, he's a local patron of the VA hospital. He's a businessman, and he provides certain medicinals for my VA hospital.
Dot like just grabs Zeke and like turns him away. Like and like, you know, huddles like directly in front of the guy. And she just starts hissing at him like, shit.
Yeah, this guy's a really chatty doctor. I thought when we went to him yesterday that he was, you know, gonna keep things on the down low.
Well, I better hope that all doctors are as chatty as he is, just for Lilith's sake.
All right, but like, what do we do with this guy? And like Zeke like has his pistol, but then he's like,
just like puts the hand out, like, you know, over his hand, over the pistol, like, would you quit pulling that thing out?
I have one. Look, a lot of things look like nails when you got a hammer.
We got bigger problems than lippy doctors, all right? There's some werewolf has sniffed me out and is upset about me being in their territory.
Well, in that case, I'll just shoot them.
There's usually more than just one of them, Zeke.
I usually have at least 6 bullets.
They're like arguing back and forth, and she just like pats him on the shoulder, just like, ooh, bah, 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 bah. And she like turns around and looks at this guy, and says, "Can you do me a favor and not tell anybody else about me?"
Yes.
Cool, that'd be great. Thanks.
Can you guys maybe do me a favor? I mean, you know, considering the bullets and everything,
Yeah, I guess we owe you one. What do you need?
Well, I've got a couple of patients at the VA hospital who, you know, as much as I know about people like yourself and others that are like that, I've got 2 at the hospital that I can't figure out. I don't know what to do for them. Maybe you guys know what they are. Maybe you could take a look at them and help me figure out. Maybe if you can tell me about them, I can maybe fix them.
Sure. I mean, like, I can have a look, but I'm not exactly an expert in these situations.
This is like a super pressing matter because we are waiting for our friend to get back.
Yeah, like maybe later tonight or tomorrow.
Quick stop by. Unless they're like super bleeding out. And
No, it's nothing like that. I've had
horrors.
I've had them for a while. It's no biggie. They just, you know, they came back from the war, changed, and they need some expert help. And I think maybe, I mean, I've lived here pretty much my whole life, and I'm pretty used to other folks and helping them with their special doctoring needs, but these 2 are different. And yeah, just sometime. And I only said something because I thought maybe this patron would they wanted to see or know who you were, and I thought maybe that it was important to you to find them, and I don't know who you guys are anyway, so I didn't really tell him anything other than that you were here or there.
Listen,
And I won't even tell him that I saw you again.
I can't make any promises, but I'll try. And I know a guy. So you promise to keep any dogs off my tail, and I'll swing by and see what I can do.
Okay. All right. It's great. Yeah. Favor for favor, and if ever you have any other special needs,
We'll know where to go.
all right. And he taps a pack of cigarettes, and he pulls one out, pops it in, and pulls the little lighter out of the vehicle, starts it up, starts puffing on it, and he says, "I'll see you guys later." And as he drives away, you can smell the very special Lucky Strike of his Lucky Strike cigarette that he's smoking as he drives away. The doctor, that is, with because it's good for your lungs.
Yes,
Smoking
it
is.
helps with a stammer. It's good for a lot of things.
All right. Okay, so back inside the hospital. Yeah, Dr. Radsman comes to the lobby, and yeah, he's kind of looking at you like, okay, who the bleep are you guys? And he comes forward and he's like, "Yes, may I help you, Dr. Radson? I'm very busy."
Yes. Hi, Dr. Ratson. I know you're a very busy man, but I need a few moments to speak with you in private. It's very urgent.
Is this... I mean, I can have office hours if you need a consultation.
It's a business deal, doctor.
Business deal? I have a job. I work here.
Sure.
Basically... Oh, okay, go ahead.
But your renowned talents could be put to use elsewhere, and rising to the ranks of surgeon doctor in the U.S. government is surely a title you want.
All right, give me unless you're using trying to use some kind of glamour or something, give me a convince roll, which is always roll plus power minus anything that you believe would be a weakness in this situation.
Well, he's doing that. Can I read his mind?
Sure.
I have that power.
Okay. Let's see what the roll is, and
I don't know what to roll.
it's always roll 2d6 plus power is always the thing, minus any weaknesses.
Okay.
10.
All right. Okay. All right. Okay. He says, okay. This is intriguing. Lilith, what'd you get for
11.
roll? Okay. And what's the specifics on it, or does it just say mind reading?
It just is mind reading.
Okay. Basically you get this vision of him having access to, you just see dead soldiers and bodies and the horrors of war, and you see him thinking about access to all these soldier corpses. And he says, let's go ahead and go up to my office. And he's like, I will have to respond if anything
Of course.
happens. All And we see them open the door to their office and, click the lights on. And of course we get the desk lamp click on light, so it's this weird lighting in the room. Have a seat. And he goes around the desk and there's paperwork, folders and everything piled there.
Do I get the same sense that I got from when I encountered or sensed that creature, undead creature?
Ooh, no. Beltane, give me a magic, like a sense magic kind of roll. So power or roll plus anything that you feel applicable to detecting magic.
8.
An 8. This guy definitely has magic about him. He is obviously some kind of spellcaster.
Upon realizing it, Beltane kind of shuffles between Lilith and this doctor and kind of runs a hand over the desk to test it to see what kind of wood it is, if it's like hazel or warding wood, and he's just kind of taps it gently, looks to Lilith, and then smiles charmingly.
Okay. No, it doesn't seem to have any kind of ward to it. It's it's a more of a 40s desk, so it's a lot more chrome and linoleum and metal because it's a hospital than that. And Lilith oh geez, no, you do not get the sense that he is that creature.
Okay.
Or entity.
As she enters the office, she's gonna stand and look at the walls because doctors always have their degrees and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
So she's gonna look at the frame degrees as she speaks and says, "The reason why we're here, doctor, specifically with you, is there's word around town that you've done wonders for patients who would have otherwise died."
Yes, we get lucky occasionally, and people who come in on the brink, we are able to call them back.
Well, it seems it's more than occasional nowadays, and it's not a we, it's a you. They've been your patients. And I think such skilled hands deserve some recognition.
And so you think that there's a government position for me?
Yes, it's possible. It depends on your answers tonight.
Okay.
Now, have you ever journeyed outside of modern medicine? Tested the limits of certain things that you may not have been able to otherwise in a regular position.
You mean when I was in academia, pushing the boundaries of electro stimulant therapies and
yes. And there are sometimes much more holistic approaches to certain things. We're looking for someone that can think outside the box. We're not here to repeat what has been done. We're here to do new things, Dr. Ratson.
Be very interested in, taking a more academic approach to things, and pushing the boundaries of modern medicine is always a worthwhile endeavor.
Is that something that you've had experience with? Not just in your school years, but in your work? Have you expanded your knowledge to other areas that most would find ridiculous or not worthwhile?
Oh, you mean like psychology? Sorry. Because it's the 40s.
Yeah, it is the 40s. More.
You get the feeling that you've hit the wall with that there's no way he's gonna be like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get them answer. So
but it's more of like seeing what he answers and his reaction to it. She knows this is not gonna get like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a necromancer.
Okay. Yeah, so he says, well, I have read some of the papers and conditions and whatnot of certain things that occurred during the war. And I mean, we learned a lot about field injuries and what, skin grafting and, some of the newer technologies that have come out of the war.
Yes, that's perfect actually, because what we're doing is to better an effort towards soldiers that have been injured in the war, and what we can do to help them with some more severe injuries that they possessed.
The modern procedures for prosthetics can always use some better thinking, some more natural and that's me stopping. He would say, something like
you can just say
some more natural holistic approaches.
I would love to talk to you more about this position, but I understand that you're busy tonight. Is there an address I could find you at, maybe tomorrow for dinner?
This is GM thinking.
I can roll for it for like convincing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do a convince, because he's just not gonna be like, oh, come to my secret lair.
So I have hypnotic trance and like a suggestion type of power.
Then that two.
Those are two different types.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. 9.
All right, a 9. And a 7 and 9 to give in a little but protect their own agenda. They say something along the lines of, how about we meet at a very, very nice seaside restaurant. Those in chat, if you'd like to come up with a Rovploft seaside restaurant name, go for it. I'd be obliged. And he says, let's see, how about we meet there tomorrow, and we'll have a great dinner, maybe some Chardonnay, and talk it over more.
Of course, that sounds perfect, Dr. Ratson. I will see you then. And she'll kind of offer her. It's a gloved hand, of course. She offers her hand.
All right, yeah. And he wants to like shake, but then he takes the hand.
It's the yeah. She's like, okay. Well, sorry. As she looks to her partner, are there any questions that you'd like to ask Dr. Ratson before we leave?
No, I definitely have some interest in this, and you and your associate are welcome to come by anytime. And he's like, gives you both his card, and that'd be fantastic. We'll see you then.
Of course. Thank you so much for making time for us, Dr. Ross, and you have a good night.
He gets up and goes and opens the door for you. And
Pinjit smiles, looking at the card and tucks it into his pocket.
exactly.
You should think of ways you want to present this and update it to Surgeon General. Gives a cheeky wink and leaves with Lilith.
All right. And yeah, he kind of, he looks at you like after your cheeky wink, and it's like, okay. He seems rather happy with the situation.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys leave? Like leave?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Go back out towards the parking lot, take out the card. You know, this would be a binding contract in another world.
I was hoping you were going to say this world.
Well, I don't know if you would allow me to make this a binding contract.
Well, if it gets us more answers from him, I thought maybe, well, maybe you don't have the same tricks anymore.
Maybe be insulting.
Maybe you're just a little bit too different from the Beltane I knew.
And
kind of throws up his hands. That's rude.
And as you guys are bantering, you see Zeke and Dot kind of sitting on the trunk of the doctor's car.
You just hear Lilith saying, "It's like, well, you know, my Beltane could have gotten a lot of answers from that interaction, and even that." She'll point to the card and then just walk over to Dot and Zeke's like, "Well, how are you two this evening?
There's a bunch of body parts in this car."
Oh, amazing. Just what I wanted.
Really?
No.
Oh. Why'd you say that? Whatever.
It's called sarcasm, dear.
Get off the car. That's a nice car. Your butts are literally... He kind of shoves them both off the car.
There's
nice
like weird grease stain that's been left from where Zeke was.
Beltane, this man has dead body parts in his car, so I doubt he'll care about whatever that is. What is that, by the way? She looks to see.
Well, you gotta boil your jacket every once in a while.
What?
Yeah, you gotta like, if it's a nice leather one, you gotta boil it a little bit and then like coat it. This is the leather coat.
Oh no, I've heard of this.
Some mink oil.
Yeah, it's a mink.
He's just talking weird cowboy again, guys. Don't worry about it.
No. I knew a tailor once that did something like that. I remember. It had a lot more stats, though. I think it might have been some other type of dried skin. Sorry.
How else are you gonna get all the blood and guts and gore off your duster? I'm just saying.
I guess you do have a point.
Take it to a tailor. Take it to a gnomish tailor. Take him to an elvish tailor. Take it to a literal tailor from the old world. They'll do it.
And you hear
coming from inside the trunk.
Yep.
I don't like that.
Zeke will hand on his pistol, steadily opens up the trunk.
And as you're reaching for the trunk, you hear a whole lot of that tinking and scratching kind of sound on metal.
But if a hand grabs your face, Zeke, as Beltane hits the boot of the car to open the trunk.
All right. Yeah, the boot opens and all the body parts are kind of together now. But just wherever they were hacked off, they're now just attached to the other body parts. So like an arm comes up and it's got a second hand coming out of the forearm.
Love that.
And there's a leg section and it just kind of rises up out of the trunk on 4 legs, all go in different directions.
Oh, this episode.
Please shut that. Please close that. I do not. Please.
Just the trunk slowly. We are not adopting this.
Yeah.
I think I should be the one telling you that.
No, this is far beyond my realm of expertise. My brother would love this, but not me.
What a
Alright,
fucked up family.
Dot's hackles are like raised 100%.
So- Beltane, give me something like a strength roll or something
God.
to get that
I want to
trunk
get out.
closed.
Someone's got some chutzpah.
Yeah,
This
it's
just
a
won't die.
5.
Oh.
Christ.
Yeah, so you slowly go to close it, and all basically
Just
like
the hand stops.
all the arms kind of pop up and press, and then like probably 6 or 8 legs and probably 10 or 12 feet like stand on this congealed mass in the middle.
Just open the trunk back up. Look, I'll tell the legs arm thing. We can't adopt you. You are not a summer spring thing. You are a fall winter thing. I can get my siblings
gun,
here.
please.
What'd you say?
I said, Zeek, gun, please.
Don't shoot it. It might be nice. Just kind of like.
All right.
Wait.
But Mr. Beltane, please get the car. After I fire this, there are going to be a lot of questions about why the same man has come back and is firing a pistol near a hospital.
Yeah. Points to the car as it kind of rolls up. Okay. Like, I'll talk to the hand feet thing. You want to come home with us? We'll protect you.
And like 2 of the arms slap down on the edge of the trunk, and it like does this sort of a flip, and it comes feet first out at you.
I'll just decide to let it fall to the ground.
It actually like bounds at you, and
it doesn't like me.
definitely kicks out. Who else was right there at the trunk?
Me.
All right. Yeah. So it basically bounds out and kicks the 2 of you, as it kind of then rolls, and it's on the hands, and the feet are up, and the feet are kicking out.
Like a weird Katamari of body horror.
And then it sort of starts slipping around, like the legs are switching places,
Oh, no.
so that the feet are coming back down and the hands are reaching out. What do you do?
Just if you
Dear
down.
Lord. Lilith's gonna
points-
reach out and grab this thing.
Okay.
scare it.
Oh, you touched it with your bare hands.
She's going to, she did specifically take off a glove and touched it with her bare hands because she's going to use absorb life force on this thing.
All right. Dot, with your eye for detail,
Yeah.
you notice all these body parts have the same tattoo.
Oh. What is it? What's it look like?
It's a square with runes, some kind of runes all around the inside of the square's edges. And Lilith, what you got?
Oh, I didn't roll. I got distracted with the description.
That's fine. It's go toe to toe when you use your abilities to overcome someone.
Okay. Using life force, that is an 11. So I rolled 2 5s.
Nice.
So I get to choose 2. You manage to achieve your goal. You get them good, giving your opponent a status with the tier. You block, dodge, or counter their best attempts. If you don't choose this, they can impose a status on you. So it's manage my goal, which is absorb their life force, because that's my power that I got.
Okay.
So I don't know what else to pick.
Okay. They actually, there's no life in there. You go to drain life like you would, a night watchman or something, or whatever you've done in the past, and there's just no life there. But you're managing with your vampiric strength to kind of hold that there, and it's like reaching and grabbing. It's gonna come at you again.
Yeah. Someone please put this thing back in the trunk.
Dot kind of like snaps out of whatever kind of like hesitance she's been having so far, and she like pops open Beltane's trunk and she says, Lilith.
You're gonna try to huck it in there?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I guess toe to toe again.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Okay. I don't want to switch dice anymore. These are really good rolls.
Okay.
That's 10.
Okay.
Plus nothing because I don't have anything on strength, but
Right.
10.
So choose 2.
Achieve my goal. Fucking
Okay.
put it in the trunk and give them a status. So I don't know, stunned. I would just want them to stay still. I don't want them to keep moving.
All right. So we see you with your vampiric in your form-fitting dress, perfect hair. You sort of judo lock this wrist, and you wing this whole ball of parts into Beltane's trunk. And when it hits in the trunk, it sort of like splashes apart, kind of. The congealed bit goes away, and the parts all separate into their own parts again.
Dot shuts the trunk.
All right.
Beltane's just like, now I'm the one with dead bodies in my car.
It wouldn't be the first time. Or did you also forget that?
No, I remember that, but this
Never specific parts.
Look, my vote, let's get the fuck away from this public ass place where we were wrestling a dead ass like conglomeration of body. Find a different place.
Security cameras aren't a thing in the 40s.
Very much so, but there's probably somebody around here who's just watched 4 people beat the shit out of something in the parking lot. I vote that we get into a car, drive to a different place, and then assess the situation again.
It's like
it's one of those like chaotic scenes, and it like cuts to like, you know, like what the scene would look like from far away, and it's just like, you know, like scuffling and shouting, and then you like see that there's like a little kid with like an ice cream cone, and the ice cream just like falls off the cone.
And it to them, it's like you're wrestling with a dog or a bear or something because of the veil. They're like you let this guy's dog out of his car, and then you're like fighting with it, and then you throw their dog in your trunk.
This is our dog now. This is my dog.
Yeah, proceed to kidnap or dog nap their dog. Okay. I assume you get in the vehicle and drive away.
Good deal. Yeah.
Are you going to the VA hospital or heading back home or splitting up? What are you doing?
1 second. Let me research something.
Sure.
So, it says that in the 1940s you could have like a phone in your car. You remember that?
No.
It would have to be like a radio phone.
Yeah, kind of like that, but like I'll put the picture in the
Okay.
in the chat. It's something like a radio phone or something like that.
Oh wow, General Alexis evidence.
It's literally somebody put a phone in the car.
Yeah. That's amazing. That looks so unsafe.
I know.
Wow, that's amazing. I had thought that cell phones were definitely an 80s technology, but that's awesome. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
With that, can I kind of call, just because it's part of the thing, I'll call Biggie.
Okay.
He's in the thing, and I'm going to give him the information on Dr. Ratson, and she's going to say, I need you to find me where this man lives.
Well, for you, Lilith, you know, anything anything you want at all. I got some family stuff going on right now, but your family too. So we're gonna definitely take care of you.
I'll double up your salary for the month.
All right. So top of the list, you're definitely my sister. No, that's too close. Sorry, nothing like that. You're my favorite cousin.
Favorite is yeah, right.
Are you using your phone in your car?
Yes, I know. It's not. It's still in work in progress. But I
that's
need this.
amazing. You got a phone in your car.
I do. You know what? If you do me this favor, I'll double your salary and I'll install these in your cars.
All right, I'm on it. Click.
Thank you, darling.
Because it's a movie. Click.
Yeah.
As they're driving, he'll kind of glance back at Lilith. Is my relationship with my brother okay in this universe, or do you like him? What is it?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, cool. I was just going to hand bodies over to him.
Things that happened didn't really happen because of all this. Technically, you haven't seen your brother since the 1300s, so he might be a little mad.
Bit more complicated than that, but sure. Pulls off into a field. I can just hand him whatever's in my trunk now, if you want.
How about we at least look at what's in the trunk before you hand it off, just in case there's anything on there that we need to,
Yes.
get a look at. However, if it regroups and tries to just attack us again, oh fuck it. I don't give a shit.
We can
ring-a-ling your brother, I guess.
We can call your brother. I did talk to him last week, so we're in a good position. You and him, not so much.
Oh. All right.
Again,
Get that in the car.
things that happened before didn't happen, and technically you haven't seen him since the 1300s.
Bit more complicated than that, but he gets out of the car and his facade of human self fades away and he becomes a bit more of a wild tree, bright red hair, deep green skin, and he kind of grumbles a bit as he kind of taps the trunk and says, "I'm going to get you to a nice home. Do not attack me." As he calls his brother Samhain towards him.
Okay. And Samhain appears and yes.
Hey, I got a new friend for you, taps the trunk. Lots of you things.
Hello, someone dear.
Miss Lilith.
Zeek is just slack-jawed in the back of the car. Just, what in the hell?
Before you take your new presents, Zeek, you said you wanted to look at the body parts, yes?
Yeah, in case there's anything, I don't know, noteworthy on them. It's kind of odd that they all have a similar tattoo, but, is there anything else that's on these that we should be figuring out? Is there any, glowy parts on them that's causing them to act like magnets to each other? There's a lot of questions.
Let's definitely check that out. Just give us a moment, Samhain. We need to check this out, but it was incredible, and Beltane will tell you.
And he does this sort of bow thing with his hands, and he just glides backwards. He doesn't actually step back.
He is the spirit. Weird. Well, he is the embodiment of fall, autumn, and dead things.
Noted.
For some reason, I thought there'd be a lot more pumpkins involved.
Oh, you mean turnips?
It's turnips.
Particularly Swedish turnips.
Anyway, the body parts.
Stranger.
Dot's look was great. All right. Okay. You open the trunk?
You just slowly open it. Don't attack us. Don't attack us. We're friends. Don't attack
Pistol
us.
out.
Appears to be parts, and they put their hands out. They drift forward. Oh, how delightfully macabre.
Right?
Oh, interesting. This is some old magic.
Oh.
Yes. See these symbols here? They're from the beginning. Yes, you're definitely dealing with a primordial in some shape or form with this.
The word primordial Lilith is just.
Uh-huh. Yeah. And he's like, yes. Well, if you don't need that anymore, if I come up with anything on this,
This
skin drawings, we'll I'll contact you.
Does primordial have a name?
I don't think that they would know it.
That's totally fine.
And yeah, we're gonna leave that to come back for when they bring you some information.
We can wave it with like fable shit. It's all like, oh, we do not speak its name.
Nice. And they kind of fold their hands like this, and it just kind of it looks like it looks like some kind of darkness comes from their hands and wraps around it, and it's almost like spidery webs like crawl across it all. And it just kind of comes up and then just kind of folds in on itself till it disappears. And they kind of wipe their hands and they're like, good to see you, brother dear. I do enjoy a good present. And then they like fall into a bunch of autumn leaves. They just kind of, and there's just like a little leaf pile of gold and, red and yellow leaves there that then just kind of blow away in a breeze.
I'm going to see that thing again at the family reunion.
Most likely. I thought I was finished dealing with primordials.
And with that, I totally missed our break. If we take a break, I get so into it sometimes.
Totally fine. Yeah. So we are going to be heading into our break for the evening. We're going to try and be back in 5 to 10 minutes. So don't go no place unless it's to grab a food, grab a drink, grab a friend, or possibly go to indooradventure.redbubble.com. Pick yourself up something nice, and we'll see you guys shortly. All right, everybody. See you soon. And we're back. Hello, everybody. We have returned to our regularly scheduled game. We just got done giving some parts to an old fae. Old fae. GB, take us away.
All right. As we come back in, it's the, hey, what are those lights in the field that shouldn't be there just so you have some lighting in the background kind of thing? And then, of course, the nice car and the headlights are, wow, bright lights.
The moonlight that shines on Lilith's eyes all the time.
Yeah. And what does the crew do from here?
My car stinks.
I think Zeek is more just like, what? Do you just like call on people like that whenever you want? Just in general.
He's my brother, so I hope I can call on him.
Noted. All right, so he said those body parts got a symbol of like primordial thing, whatever that means.
Yes.
Something old, I'm guessing.
Very.
Now, what is Dr. Man doing with things like that? Second, and he's holding up 3 fingers. Secondly, what if people, where are they getting those markings from? Is that like a before or an after thing? Is that like something like you can just like find a body part, do a little scribble on, and then they form together?
If it's old magic, I'm assuming it might be an after thing.
All right, so do we know, like, one, why is the doctor bringing these after parts? Also, one thing that we could check zombies that we talked to earlier, well, that Dot and I talked to, we can try and check to see if maybe they got any of those markings on them. Like if it's one of those, like,
True.
oh, in order for this to work, I have to lop off somebody's arm and then put this newfangled arm on them.
Possibly. I'm thinking that we might get more answers if we get to see their home, which I put out a call for to get the information. And, it would be great if two certain very talented people could sneak in while Beltane and I take the doctor to dinner tomorrow.
All right, well, who are they?
You two.
And you're like, me and then Dot, like he points.
Yes.
Stealth is our MO. Being super quiet.
Of course.
What she means is that I'm gonna sneak in there, and you're going to back me up in case something goes wrong.
I'm so glad you understand what I'm saying, Dot.
The doctor said something about prosthetics.
All right,
What is?
Is this something like we should go to the VA for?
What's a VA?
Office of Veterans Affairs. It's like a hospital for people who served in the war.
I did see, when we were talking, he did seem to have a endless supply of soldier bodies. I saw that in his mind.
Yeah, if he's
Let's
finding
go
soldier
to-
bodies. Maybe he's
Must
getting
be the
them.
VA.
Possibly. That doctor is rather chatty.
Well, maybe our VA friend will know something about that. It's entirely possible that they interacted at some point during the war. Heck, maybe the doctor's got his arm.
Oh. Well, why don't we talk to this armless VA doctor that you
He's
know?
got like, he's missing one. The other one's still
Oh.
fine.
Oh,
Also, he
right.
said that he was having trouble like identifying some folk. And we said that we would help him in return as for thanks as to, like getting Dot unshot the other day.
You kind of owe him.
So we figured Beltane seems to know pretty much everything. And if not, well, maybe your brother will know, or your sister, or your dad, or somebody will know what the fuck.
Oh, they
I don't have a father.
parents.
That doesn't make any sense. If you're here,
I'm-
you gotta have a daddy.
No, I quite literally just stepped out of the tree I was born.
Well, maybe your dad tree will know the answer then.
I don't think so. I
that's
was
how
a
it
primordial
works.
being before that.
Then how do you not know the other Look,
We don't actually talk to each other.
things were a lot more simple before I met you folk.
So
I
let's
wish I
get
had
to
heard
your VA Dr. Chetty friend.
You might be able to help them identify whatever this is.
All right, so all of you are going?
Yes.
Okay.
We're all in the car. It's really up to driver to decide like who's going where.
Yeah, he'll stop by a DQ, pick up some ice cream, then go to the VA.
Just into the beard.
Wasn't it
Yeah.
the dilly bar that
Yeah.
got you last time?
Yep.
All right. All right. So Dot, give me an investigate.
Boy, regarding what?
You can use anything that has to do with your senses to on
Okay.
this one. So you're probably going to be like +2 or +3.
Yeah. Wolf's instincts, thrill of the hunt, eye for details.
Yep.
4 on the dice, +3 is going to be a 7.
All right. Yep. So you're gonna, as you guys are pulling up to the VA hospital, you notice there's a car down the road. This is like this is like a place where it's like on a road in the middle of nowhere. It's not like, oh, it's a city street. The VA hospital is out of town. And so you notice this car, which is parked just on the other side of a hill to where like the top part of the car can see. Yeah, so you notice that car sitting there. And I'm going to say, however it happens, whether with your senses or what, you can see there's someone in it. At least a single person's in it.
Hey. That looks really suspicious over there.
Pulls out a bat and hands it to Dot. Knock out their headlights.
What? Yeah, they're in there.
Yeah, that's how you
do
send a
that.
message. Here, give it to me. I'll do it.
No.
I do have to agree with them on this and that.
What would you do it? Come on, Zeek.
Oh my god, I'm looking away. She just like hands the bat to Zeek, like a little bit too forcefully, so that she like whacks him in the gut with it.
Zeke, he'll get out of the car, look towards the car that's just minding its own business with a dude inside. Just, hey there, friend. You lost?
Oh, the lights come on. It's just like blinding light. And then it starts to back up and down the hill. So like we get that, the lights are like shining and then they're going away as the car backs up.
Zeke like puts his hat down a little lower so that way it clearly like that is all the disguise he needs in this moment, is if you can only see my very distinct lower face. And he just like points the bat towards the car.
All right. Yeah, it backs down the hill. The headlights are there, and you see the headlights swing away, and you hear the car going away down the road.
He turns back towards his friend's car. See? Didn't even need to bash him.
That's really good. Shuts the trunk. There's a Tommy gun in my boot.
Don't know how that got there.
Me neither.
We put that body part spider in that boot. That thing's got fingers.
I can't see, so.
Oh, it can't see.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
For all it knew, it was picking up a bat that I definitely had made.
I mean, it did just fine jumping up Lilith, so.
Can I grab the Tommy gun?
Sure.
It's just less than a Tommy gun. Is this? Sorry, I spaced out for a second. Is this in the car that was parked weirdly out?
No, this Tommy gun was in our trunk the whole time.
Oh.
Where we threw the body. Threw it in the trunk alongside a Tommy gun.
The safety was on.
The safety was on.
For all we know, those were veterans' limbs. They probably know how to use a gun. Very well.
Pretty sure they were veterans' limbs.
At that point, it's just muscle memory. They don't even need a brain for that.
I should tell my
But
brother this.
this is a lot of what ifs. But it didn't happen, so it's fine.
Did you happen to get a look at whoever was in that other car?
No. As soon as I got near, they flashed their lights at me. I couldn't get a good look.
Well,
I mean, it's not the doctor. He's at work.
yes, but
Could be
we
those
don't know
people
if
that
he's
were sniffing
working
around for
alone.
you.
I'm worried about that.
Oh, by the way, the doctor here, very chatty, showed up when Dot and I were watching the doctor's car.
All right.
And apparently he just like let everybody know that she and I are in town.
Who did he let know?
Somebody else who has the same kind of silver allergy that Dot does.
Someone they were looking for you, Dot.
Yeah, and then the doc was like, "Oh, I got these folks, so like you two should come on by." Like, if anything, like it might have been a setup. It still could be a setup.
Well, any and all werewolves here are usually Biggie's man.
Usually,
Yes.
Great. So he knows that there's a new werewolf in town, and he's trying to sniff out whoever this young ruffian is coming and tearing up his territory.
you are tearing it up so well, Dot.
That car felt immensely frightened by your
Listen.
position.
When he understands that you're with me, it'll be fine. Plus, he says he has family issues, so I don't think he'll be focusing on that anyway.
Out of character laughter.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's go talk to your chatty friend.
And as you get out of the car, Dot, and you start to walk up, yeah, you're like, yeah, there was werewolf here.
Hackles raising again. Just
Okay.
yeah, like in Miyazaki films when like their hair starts like just going
Mm-hmm.
like she touched a balloon.
All right.
All right. You go up to the door, and you knock or ring the bell, and the doc shows up with he's got his sleeve pinned, of course, and he opens the door and he's like, "Oh, hey, you came, and hello," and he waves to Lilith and Beltane.
These are our friends who are much better at identifying these kind of oddities versus myself.
Okay. Well, great. I appreciate it. And yeah. Okay. They know oddities, so they know about.
They're in it.
Okay. And he turns and he locks the normal door behind him, and he's like, "These patients, we have to go around to the under part of the building."
The crypt.
Okay.
Mm.
Can you tell me a bit more about their condition?
Well, one of them, he won the Bronze Star. He took out an entire company of Nazis, all by himself. But he got back here to the States, and he couldn't stop fighting and attacking people, and it's just better if you see him.
Right. Yes.
And the other individual, well, to people who can't see, they like we do, it looks like they just have, sorry to be medical, but diarrhea, constant diarrhea. And but again, it's easier, and he's been fumbling with his one hand with the big band of keys, and he gets the lock, then he puts the thing in, and then he opens the door. And basically this is, you can tell, is like a 1920s to 1930s psych ward. This is like a place where you would keep dangerous people, kind of thing. It's the basement of the building, and there are like probably 4 of these padded cells, and he goes to the first one, and he twists a switch to turn a light on in the first one, and immediately you hear chains like being pulled taut, and there's this individual who's just totally shredded, just like muscles, like just
jacked.
I mean, jacked, completely jacked, and he's at the end of the chains, and he's got these like they're like bull's horns. They come out of his head and forward. They're definitely and his skin is red, and his horns are black, his nails are black, and the little bit of hair he has is also black, and he's just raging against these chains.
He just looks sad for a moment.
What are you thinking? Possession by rage demon?
More maybe an avatar of war.
That would make sense with the physical manifestations of his condition.
Looks like possibly the avatar out of Mars is the god, his repertoire, one of his beings.
He talks about something called Raka. And I don't know if this Beltane would remember, but Lilith would probably remember the Raka, the destroyer, the primordial that you defeated.
The turkey guy?
The hell turkeys escaped from the rift. Yes.
Oh no, not. Are you sure he said Raka?
Yeah, it's about all he says. And then once like he's heard that, he's at the edge of the chains, and he's just Raka, 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 Raka. Just like you said, total rage demon.
Raka is the primordial god of just violence and destruction. We dealt with him some time ago before. Well, I did, at least before I lost you, says to Beltane. A peek into his plane would drive anyone mad.
And Beltane, you do remember that there is supposedly 3 primordials that were around at the beginning, like before anything else.
I understand Raka in the sense that they are the root of all beginnings. They created the secondary primordials, which I stem from. But they are chaos, they are manipulation, they are death and destruction. This poor fellow is unfortunately beyond our help and will need to be treated as such.
Right. Well.
So he's not like, he's not like born into it or brought into it. And he points at Dot like born into it, and then is like at Lilith, brought into it. This happened to him?
Yes.
Think of it as possession. It's the best way to understand it.
So if I get a priest, can we chase it out?
No.
This doesn't adhere to the new world's religion.
Unfortunately, anything that can deal with him are long gone.
Okay. Well, all right. How about this poor fella? And you, as he steps forward to the next doorway, you see that you guys all see there's like moss growing out from underneath the door, like lichen and moss, and the doc looks down at it, and he's like, he gets a dustpan and he like scrapes it off the concrete floor, and he takes it over and he pops open with a stomp, a foot pedal. He puts racks the moss off on the thing. Now, what we see as the audience beyond the veil, before he does that, we look down and it looks like diarrhea. It looks like there's just freaking
refuse.
Yeah, on the floor. And then we see it switches to our view, and that's when he scrapes it up and chucks it. And then when we go to look inside, there's this individual in a straitjacket in there, and they're rocking back and forth, and pretty much the entire cell is this moss and lichen and worms and bugs and all this rot, basically mold, black, green, yellow type mold and all, and they're just sitting there in the straitjacket. And we won't get more disgusting, but yes, you can imagine what we see from beyond the veil. And they seem to be extruding stuff from both ends at times.
Yuck.
Oh, this poor fellow.
And they when they realize that someone's there, they their head turns, and Zeek, why don't you let us,
like he's about to make a check of some sort.
yes, let us face some danger. When you use your abilities to avoid an incoming hit, endure harm, resist a malign influence. Let's roll plus power. What do you got to keep someone out of your head?
He's got from his defining moment, he has survival of the fittest, which is basically like the equivalent of he's not going to be deterred from or deterred from his goals, especially when it comes to dealing with the supernatural, like as somebody who was like a soul survivor kind of deal. He has a very good sense of his own mental fortitude.
All right. So you hear in your head, you see this person looking out at the group of you, but Zeek, you hear in your head, I can help you find them.
That is a 10 on the dice.
All right.
So a total of 11.
You fend off the effect and take no status. But you're hearing this. They killed your parents. I can totally help you.
And you just hear Zeek say, not from in there, you can't.
Well, you got to get me out.
Nope. No, I don't. Not with you looking the way you do.
Oh, well, that's not fair.
Let's fix you up first, and then we'll see how chatty you are.
All righty. And then it tries again to like get into your head, and then it snickers and it's like, my bad. I'm sorry. You already belong to my sister. Projectiles and more rot and moss,
yes,
and rot and bugs and worms and stuff cling to the wall and start crawling about. Yeah.
I can deal with them in my way.
I can deal with them in mine too. And he pulls out a pistol. Like,
oh God. Yours is not a permanent death.
I'm pretty sure if I dome this guy and his brain joins the mess that's in that cell, I'm pretty sure that's it for him.
Totally forgot two parts. So first, the description earlier, I put one cart before the horse there. I also forgot to say that when you look in, it looks like a sputtering like mud volcano. It looks like if Jabba the Hutt were mud, if Jabba was wearing a mud mask, that's what it
was it similar to the primordial we dealt this in the beginning?
Very first primordial, like 2 years ago, you guys dealt
Lilith,
with.
because Lilith is like, I don't know if this Beltane remembers, but Lilith is like one of the only ones that understands that she's just holding the bridge of her nose.
I think Beltane sees this and says, "You need to tell me the story so I can remember."
Well, way back when, before things got complicated, we dealt with this primordial. Remember when we met Harker and Hazel?
He reaches into his bag and pulls out a mug with a Christmas tree on it. I do.
We first met them because we came to them for help. And they did help us, but it led us to that. And she'll point to like the person being overtaken by this primordial. So it made Hazel go crazy.
Looks towards Zeek. I can deal with it in my way.
All right, well, first things first, before you deal with it in your way, do these things typically have, like, family members?
Think of it more like when there's a brood. They're related, they're of the same generation.
So, like, ants?
Sort of. Why?
Because that thing was trying to be a little chatterbox inside my old dome place. It was saying that its sister, or that I belong to its sister or something.
Well, we have 1, 2, and we're missing a third primordial.
Congratulations, Zeek.
You're welcome? I don't know what I did.
Do you remember?
Your new best friends.
Do you remember when you showed me that night in your childhood?
Yes.
That there was a voice that called that creature. A female voice.
Certainly.
I think that's who he means by sister.
Yeah, but if she called the thing out of the place, and I don't look like one of those, unless her ability is to make you look super awesome.
Yes, but that thing never touched you. It killed your parents. Who's to say that she didn't send it in as part of her, I don't know.
Well, if that's the case, Beltane, call your brother or sister or whoever the hell you can and just, like, wave your hands over me and get it done.
Yeah. The primordials don't follow the old laws. They follow the ancient laws.
Your laws are shit.
And
our laws keep us safe.
We have a quick flashback to Zeek. I think it was on the train where you got touched. And we saw the little bit of star field kind of thing. You were star touched.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that flashback like happens from Dot's perspective. And she kind of reaches out and like grabs Zeke's arm, the one that was star touched. Maybe you didn't get touched back then, but something did touch you recently.
Yeah, you, right now.
You know what I'm talking about? Back on the train. Those weird shadow things.
Well, if the weird shadow thing touched me, and I'm not going rocka, 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 making a raucous like that guy 2 doors down, and I'm not shitting everywhere like this guy right here. Do I just like have this inside of me like some weird disease?
You the new Typhoid Mary, sure.
Great, so I have typhoid. I have a primordial version of typhoid just hanging out.
That's a good way to look at it.
No, it's a terrible way to look at it. Why would you say that?
I'm trying to be helpful because if you turn into one of those things, I have to take your head. That's simple as that.
I mean, good luck on that one. All I'm trying to say is, if you're going to fix these guys, fix them. If I need to end up getting fixed, take me out to the shed and make good use of my guns.
I would say we could reason with them, but I don't think we can.
These things are not capable of reason. Anything they touch is tainted.
So there's nothing we can do for these boys?
I'm sorry, but no. I've experienced these 2 things before myself, and everyone touched by them just ends up having a horrible fate.
You need a silver or an iron sword, to be frank.
Silver or iron sword. Yeah, I'm just gonna run down to the blacksmith and have one of those made up.
He reaches into his bag and says, I got the things you need, quite literally. He holds up his bag and there's just a big burrow of everything that ranges from gold to pirate treasures to a big ship and a couple of swords and what looks to be a castle kind of stuck into a hill.
That's one I've never seen. I'll take one, I guess.
You want some money? Because I don't need it.
he's like, I'll put it back into the hospital. Sure. He's,
pulls out some doubloons from
yeah,
the Victorian age.
Yeah, he's like filling his pockets with gold coins, and he's got like a iron broadsword, and he's like, I'll keep it here, and he puts it up on the shelf there in the basement of the hospital. While I appreciate any kind of help, because there's really, I haven't been able to do anything with these guys. I have to have the orderlies hold them down during the day and sedate them to even take the most minimal care.
What's your name, sir?
Oh, Donovan, Jack O'Donovan.
Jack O'Donovan. It seems like you need a lot of help in this hospital, correct?
Well, I do the night shift because that's where all the stuff that I can see and other people can't happens.
Yes. Well, I would be more than happy to send people your way that can see things as you can, that can help you. And maybe set up a specific program for creatures of this world that aren't like others that can get help.
Well, that's amazing. That's thank you. You're Miss
Lilith.
Miss Lilith. Yeah, I mean, would any and you too, Mr.
Hawthorne.
I mean, are these really gold? He leans in.
Yes, I stole these from King Edward the First, and then this one from James the Second, and this one from Louis. He was a bit mad about that one, but hey, I didn't lose my head over it.
Yeah, and he's choking like, okay. All right, well, I appreciate it. And like I said to you, he looks at you, Dot, and he's like I said to you, I won't say anything to anyone else anymore. You're clean and clear. You're good folks. I appreciate it.
One more gift, as he kind of produces a small birch leaf, and above it a blue flame appears. This is for when you need to dispose the bodies.
Do I touch it to him? And he like turns it upside down, or
If you want to, they'll do its job on its own. It's a living flame.
okay. And he
It's got a little face, and it's like, hi.
Blinks its eyes.
he like looks around, and he goes over.
Stick it anywhere, really.
He goes over to a cupboard, and he like sets it down, opens the cupboard, puts an ashtray in the cupboard, and then sets the leaf in the ashtray, and then is like, good night, living flame. And he closes the cupboard.
Here's another curse. May all your bacon burn.
Yeah. No! I put the toaster on one. Why is it burned? So yeah. So he's like, well, I appreciate everything you guys have done for me and everybody here. And like I said, I'll keep my mouth shut.
Good, because if you don't, I will curse you from now until the end of time. See you, as he walks away.
As he walks away. All right. Where do you guys go from here?
We're going to the doctor's house, right? That was the next stop.
Well, no, I put out a search for him, for his
I
house.
don't know where he is yet. Okay.
Yes.
Got
Yeah,
you.
When I assume you're going back to the castle, because then you gotta go.
Before on the way
dinner?
there, Lilith will tell Dot, it's like, if you want, I can phone Biggie and tell him to stop searching for whoever this person is, since I know you. Let them know that you're one of my people.
I mean, if that's gonna keep him off my tail, then
Of course.
all
Picks
right.
up the car phone.
Like as she does that, she's like, "Listen, I just don't want to get in any dogfights. All right."
You're not going to get in any dog fights.
All right, and you're,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Biggie dear. Sorry for calling you again, but were you at the VA hospital recently?
I mean, I dropped off the medicinals for them the other day.
Yes. Were you looking for someone in specific when you got there?
Yeah. Craziest thing. I swear I smelled me. It was crazy. So, I got someone watching the joint.
Lilith's gonna look to the phone, look to Dot, look to the phone, look to Dot. Biggie, do you have family?
Well, yeah, like I said, that's part of what I was talking about the family troubles. I
Right.
somewhere supposedly I got a daughter,
Give me 1 second, Dawn. 1 second. Puts the phone to her chest. Dot, this is a completely random question, but do you know who your father is?
Yeah, he's dead. He got hit by a train.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure. Yeah.
Is that what your mother told you?
she did tell me a lot of stories when I was younger. I guess, like, to some degree, I always thought that, like, he was just a deadbeat or something. Oh my god, this is not the right question to be asking me in the middle of this phone call.
Is there a better question we should be asking you?
No.
Like, does the Bow Wow side of your family come from dad or mom, or is that just something that...
Biggie.
I swear to God, Zeek.
So I don't really need you to look into whoever that person is because I know that person. The one that smelled like you, yes.
Okay.
That's weird.
Why
So,
would you say that, Lilith?
so
I'm talking to a werewolf. Why wouldn't I say that?
I mean, it obviously they're kin or kith or something.
Do you know what your daughter's called?
Ooh, Danae.
Her actual name.
Yeah, would Biggie know?
Yeah, I think he'd know her by her actual, like, birth certificate name, which would be Dorothy Flannery.
Okay. Yeah, and he's like, yeah, you know, I found some things out. Not that I, you know. Anyway, Dorothy Flannery.
She's gonna look to Dorothy Flannery, huh?
Yeah, Miss Lilith, your phone must be breaking up. You're asking questions. Can you hear me?
Yes, sorry. I can hear you.
That almost sounds like
Dot
your
react
name.
to the name?
Just her hackles are all kind of raised. It's like you just called her the wrong thing on the schoolyard. Like,
Yeah.
so, like, you're not allowed to know my real name is Ashley.
Beltane will say, "Don't you dare wolf out in this car. It already smells of dead body parts."
Biggie, darling, do you have time for a meeting tonight?
I mean, the most important thing was the looking into the.
Yes.
But I mean, if you're calling that off and you know who they are, I mean, I'm good.
No,
Sure.
no. I still need to know where they live. I may have figured out some other things pertaining to you. I will give you a call back, all right? Love you. Bye.
And we get Biggie looking into the phone, and he shakes his head and hangs it up. Fellas, yeah, let's we're not supposed to find the person who smells like me. And you hear a kind of like almost like a hyena like laugh, like,
Yeah.
I told you you're crazy, boss. Watch it. You watch it. Who's still the
Top dog.
Yeah.
and he's like, you know, doing that kind of thing, and that's where that cuts. All right, where are we at on time? Oh, good. Okay. So
What?
you can start the card.
I may know who your father is. I'm sorry, there's no other way for me to say this, but your father's not dead.
Oh, I'm guessing he's also like 100 and something odd years old, and he just
No, werewolves
works
don't
at the
get to live
train
that long.
yard.
No,
Why
he's
would he work at the train yard?
no, he's Don Biggie. He's the other mafia man in the town.
He's what?
Yeah.
His name is
Just like,
Donald
"Don't start."
Biggie.
No, not Donald. Don is a title. His name is Biggie Bad Wolf. I don't know why.
The Biggie Bad Wolf?
Yes.
The Biggie Bad Wolf.
Yes.
Does the
The
E
one I have in
stand
my
for
pocket.
something?
I've got coworkers who
Eugene?
have family who've been killed by Biggie and his boys. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not.
And we do get a picture of like a Biggie Bad Wolf Brewery. You know, there's like a wolf head on the beer bottle, and then there's like, you know, people at a bar like with 2 bottles of this, and then da 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 da. You know, the Tommy gun. You know,
Yeah.
everybody goes down.
Yes, that one.
Biggie and his boys are the baddest bastards.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Well, they operate.
The baddest bastards on the bay.
Biggie and his boys are the baddest bastards in the bay.
6 times fast.
My God. Well, yes, those. I work with them, or technically they work for me. Yeah, so that's the person who was asking for you, because when he went there, he smelled part of him in your blood. And he does have a daughter whose name he said was Dorothy Flannery.
Well, that can't be Dot. Because Dot's name is Dot.
Dorothy.
Dot is dear. Dot is a nickname.
Well, one, okay. How about that? Dot's last name also isn't Bad Wolf. I don't see a connection here.
You know, Zeke, you have a point.
So, like Dorothy from Wizard of Oz.
Did Wizard of Oz come out by now?
Yeah.
I don't.
1939.
It was also based on a book series.
Well, Dot is 20 years old, so she's probably, that's why she started going by Dot. I'm sorry. That took me by surprise. She started going by Dot because she was on the schoolyard, literally on the schoolyard. Fucking Wizard of Oz comes out. And everybody's all like, ha ha ha, Dorothy. And it's all like, no, don't call me Dorothy. My name's Dot. For some reason, she's got an accent back then.
She grew out of it.
Particularly with the, and your little dog, too, you know.
Exactly, with the cackle.
This is so cruel for me to do to her.
We love you.
And
We
a
love you,
dash
Dot.
of childhood trauma.
I'm
Yeah,
yeah.
a well-rounded character.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
Oh, shoo.
Every time fucking Zeke calls her Dorothy from now on, she's like, fucking like, in the ribs.
You think he's gonna call her Dorothy? Why would he do
Grinding
that?
the toes. That's a good question.
Oh, Beltane's gonna definitely call her Dorothy.
I swear to God, Belle.
All
I'm still taking your fingers next.
right. So, Lilith, you're dropping the emotion bomb on Dot.
Yeah.
Dot's having none of it. Let me make sure there was nothing else that we needed to get to tonight. How close are we? Good. Any other scenes you guys want to have betwixt you guys?
No, I think if we're all just in the car on our way
Yeah.
home.
Okay.
I think the drama bomb is the best place to leave off, honestly.
Good.
Your father's a mobster.
So we will as we leave the car with the awkward Wizard of Oz revelation flashback from Dot, we then go to an apartment we've seen before, and there's a massive book opened on the desk, and there's a
bitch.
there's a pentagram on the page, and out of the pentagram, the red glowing light, we see the young man inflicted or cursed by Raka, and we see him against the chains, and he's like, doing the Raka kind of thing, and then he stops at one point. This is like after you guys are walking away, he stops and he looks right at Harker. And Harker, with her curls and her lipstick, the secretary, the John Wick version of the secretary we saw before, she just gets this little devilish smile, and she nods, and then we see her closing the book, and it's staring at her, and then she closes it on it, and it disappears, and that's where the credits will roll.
Woo! excellent, GB. Thank you so much for running this game. I always have a blast whenever we get to play Monster Noir, whether it's, once a month, once every couple of weeks. It doesn't matter. I'm always having a blast, but I always have a blast when you're on the channel. Where can we find you? What do you do?
I'm Greybeard of Greybeard Tavern. Check out Twitter. That's where I'm at mostly. You can find me Sundays at my own channel, Greybeard Tavern, 10-ish a.m. because it's Sunday morning. And currently we're playing Wildermyth until Darkest Dungeon 2 comes out. So but I'm adoring Wildermyth, so definitely pop on by. Currently, the Hype Goblin is a character called the Hype Mystic that JD Lady created, and Greybeard and Tavern Sparrow are characters in the party, and they've actually started a relationship, and it's hilarious. It's so hilarious to see the two of us interact in the game. I'm constantly screenshotting it because they're crazy like that. And then you can catch me Tuesdays over on Lantern Noir's channel. We do our talk show that is on Spotify and all the podcast places. Happy Hour at the Old Timer Tavern. We're part of the Inverse Genius podcast network. And you can also catch us on YouTube and VODs and whatnot. Between us, we've got almost 80 years of gaming experience. We talk about everything from D&D to movies to video games and everything else. But that's Tuesdays at 5 Eastern Standard Time. And that's me, GB.
Hi everyone, my name is Satan. You can find me on the interwebs under Ellis of Vamp with 2 Ps, and you can find me here Thursday nights so far with these lovely people in this awesome game, as well as Sunday nights at 10 p.m. for maybe 3-4 more times with Wings as our DM for Rima the Frost Maiden. And you can also find me at the Hype Goblins channel Sunday at 10 a.m. EST. Where I take my friends, including Jen and all these other people who have guests in that game, through my homebrew world. And soon you'll be able to find me again Saturdays at 4 p.m. or for 30 p.m. In Val's channel for another season of Dragon Age and Plot Hunters at 8 o'clock p.m. Saturday nights, where we're going to explore the Underworld, same thing. That's me.
And Danae, where can we find you? What do you do?
Oh, shit, this is the only place that I'm second. Hi, everybody. My name's Wings, also known as Danae Keener. You can find me at DanaeKeener.com. You can also find me at Danae Keener on Twitter. Oh, shit, I do nerdy drawings mostly related to D&D and a lot of things on this channel. I haven't played D&D in like a week, you guys. It's been forever. You can also show up on Sunday. Running Rima the Frost Maiden. We're starting to get towards the end here. Come and check out the Caves of Hunger as I hunt them as a fucking gnoll vampire. It's great. DanaeKeener.com.
Hi, I'm Jen, and you can find me here on Thursdays playing Beltane Hawthorne, my very sassy fae boy that he is. And on Sundays, you can find me over at the Hype Goblins channel, being Anthony Silverhorn, the Artificer Barbarian, who is going through a bunch of fun stuff, learning how to deal with quarantines and weird jellyfish blood-sucking vampires. It's fine.
And if you've made it this far, you were probably just as shocked as I was that my camera decided to zoom in all on its own. Hello, everybody. I am the Indoor Adventurer. Thank you so much for joining this show. We do shows like this on Monday and Thursday at 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, as well as on Sundays at 7 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time joining us, you can go to youtube.com/indooradventures to check up on all the VODs of each of the games that we have played up until this point, including full playthroughs of a bunch of D&D campaigns, a bunch of different tabletop settings. It's a fantastic time. Go check out the YouTube. But we are also available anywhere audiocasts are made available for free. And speaking of things that are being made available for free, we are going to be going into our Patreon-supported after show called Nights in the Courtyard, where we answer questions not only from each other, but also from the community. So if you have any questions for myself or any of these other fine folk, feel free to join us on that Patreon at patreon.com/indooradventures, and we will do our best to respond in kind. But with that, I would like to say once again, thank you to Greybeard for running this absolutely fantastic game. Thank you to everybody who decided to stop on by, and thank you to these players for putting up with our bullshit once again this week. And we'll see all of you guys next time. All right, everybody. Bye-bye!